Hello, my loves. Welcome or welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. I am honored to have you. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Okay, guys, so we are kicking off Thanksgiving week, and it is Thanksgiving in the United States. And cutting out all the kind of the politics of the season. Thanksgiving is a time where we come together with our families. We come together with those that we love. We create a feast in celebration and in gratitude for the connections and the love that we share, for the giving and receiving that we do in equality. And today, and this week especially, I wanted to give back to my community for the vast amount of love and support that you guys have been pouring into my channel, both from the community of readers, but as well as my viewers, my clients, just all of you. The amount that you guys pour into me is more than you may realize. And every day that I get to sit down and do these readings, I find more hope in humanity. I find more hope in the collective, more hope in the changing of this world, and these changes being absolutely 100% for the better, for the growth and the enlightenment of all. And it is one of the most beautiful things I am able to witness thus far. And because of that, and because, well, last night I had kind of burned myself out on work and home life and everything, late nights and early mornings. And so I did not want to cook. We gave our kids the option of where they wanted to order dinner from, and we ordered in. And I 100% expected them to pick McDonald's because they're kids. You know, like I was like bracing myself like, oh God, it's going to be McDonald's. Oh, it's going to be McDonald's, because I'm not a huge fan. But if I hadn't had that thought that like I need to brace myself for my kids wanting McDonald's, I would not have had the inspiration for this reading. And I love how spirit works like that. It's like, let's do some fun stuff. And that has been a big energy that I've been picking up. It's time to infuse some more fun. So this reading is all about your secret sauce. This is about the very special parts of you that make you so unique that people cannot resist you. We're working with the collective rune Nafis on this reading. And Nafis is the rune that speaks about need. And for the most part, as I've been working with this rune, we've been looking at different kinds of needs, more physical and emotional needs. But the deeper meaning of the Nafis rune is all about a fiery, passionate need to connect with spirit, to live passionately, to live from the spirit, to live in awareness and consciousness, to understand that you can rely on yourself and you can trust yourself, but also to understand that when you are burning brightly, other people learn how to burn brightly. And so we all work together. There is this collective need to feel that spark of passionate inspiration and creativity once more. We've been going through such heavy times, heavy energies, heavy shifts and burdens are being lifted off of our shoulders. And in the process of this healing and these burdens being lifted and shifted, sorry, I just had like a 90s song, 2000 song playing in my head. I can't remember the name of the song. You've got me lifted, shifted, high in the ceiling. Ooh, it's the ultimate feeling. I'm going to have to Google it. Anyway, sorry guys. This is how my brain has been lately. I absolutely love it. But we're talking about moving through these heavy energies and learning how to recognize the need for fun, the need for enjoyment, the need for play, the need for realizing that we all have this special sauce and we can We can swagger, or we can walk with our shoulders hunched and our heads down. And I personally, I'm choosing to swagger, and I am here to help you all get that swagger and that you can't even describe it. It's, I think it's a je ne sais quoi is how you say it in French, je ne sais quoi. I hope that David or Eliza do not watch this, because they'll probably tear me a new one, because I don't speak French. But it's that bit of yourself that people can't quite put their finger on. I'm going to try and put my finger on it as best I can to give you that boost that you need, not from the ego, but from the soul, so that you embody more of your soul, you walk forward with more of your soul, and you live more passionately from the soul, from the heart, from the truth of who you are. This is about a passionate embracing of who you are. So let's find out what your secret sauce is. We have 4 piles here. The first one is the card 43 with the Roadrunner and the Berkano, or the Birch Goddess rune. The second one is the number 13 with the Whale and the Othala, or the Odal rune. The third is the Worm pile, as well as the Sowilo rune. And the fourth is the Ladybug, as well as the Manaz rune. So without further ado, I'm going to put on some meditation music for you guys. Get in touch with your guides, get in touch with your intuition. Allow that passion to kind of spark up and bubble up inside of you, and let it lead you to whatever pile is really pulling and calling to you, and trust yourself. I will see you at your piles. Hello, pile 1. So if you chose the card 43 with the Roadrunner, as well as the Berkano or the Birch Goddess rune, this is your message about your secret sauce. Excuse me. I've been channeling. This happens every time I do rising sign messages. I go through like an entire week where my voice is like, I'm going to be so scratchy. So bear with me, guys. So as I was sitting and prepping for your pile last night, you guys actually sparked kind of one of the themes that we're doing throughout this reading, which is looking at the element difference between the card and the rune. And when it comes to the runes, for the most part, most of these runes are associated with the earth element just by feel of it, because they feel very earthy. The Norse pantheon to me always feels very earthy. But with these elements, it's about learning how to blend them together, or recognizing how the blending of these elements really works. And of course, because I'm an astrologer, it brought me straight back to astrology. So with the Roadrunner, we actually have the earth or the air element. And with the Berkano or the Birch Goddess rune, we're working with the earth element. And these are the exact opposite elements. If you look at how they are signified, it's a triangle. Each one of them has a triangle with a line through it. One of the triangles has the point upright, which would be air, and the other one has it facing down, which would be earth. That signifies the masculine and the feminine energies. This is a lot of as above, so below energy. It's about the mind connecting to the body of the whole and the all. It's, I describe it as a form of blending of clairsentience and claircognizance into kind of one gift, one area of expertise. And that's why you guys have probably, like, anytime you go to pick cards that are like, what is your strongest clair? What is your strongest psychic gift? You can't decide between the two, because for you in particular, pile one, there is no extricating them. There is no extricating how you feel and how you think. It's like they're interwoven together. I'm actually seeing kind of like a DNA strand, but it's more intricate than that. It's your heart and your mind are so intricately tied to each other that if one stutters, the other one stops, kind of thing. And I don't mean that in like a my heart is going to stop kind of way. I mean, like, if you have like a stutter of your heart chakra, like all of a sudden your heart chakra kind of locks up because of a loss, grief, fear, worry, your mind at the same time will reflect that. And that's something that you may not have realized, is that you have that beautiful reflectionary principle within your own body, where your mind is going to show you that your heart is not fully aligned with where it should be. And the reverse will also be the case. So if your mind is going a mile a minute and it's going down the wrong train, you're going to start feeling flutters in your chest. And if you can recognize these two factors, these two indicators as being mirrors of each other, it helps you work with your energy way better, because now you have this greater level of awareness that you're actually indicating concerns within yourself. It's not about the outside world. This is completely internal. This is like your higher self coming down and being like, yeah, this is how we work in the physical world. And I think it's really great. I did get a channeled message for you before I get into the astrological energies that I picked up. So here's the channeled message. It said, sometimes revelations and awareness come in like lightning. You see the foolhardy notions of the quote unquote enemy or the coyote. I was actually seeing the Roadrunner and the coyote from, what is it? Looney Tunes. Yeah, from Looney Tunes, like with the Acme TNT bombs. I was a huge fan of the Roadrunner. It actually used to be one of my nicknames, so I thought it was really funny that this came up because I resonate with the energy enough that I can tap into it. So I thought it was really funny. But you see the foolhardy notions of the quote-unquote enemy or the coyote. And instead of engaging in battle, you harness the lessons from the past to become the wind, giving birth rapidly to new ideas, notions, awareness in the world. And through the conscious focus upon what you're meant to do or called to do or inspired to create, rather than on that pesky coyote, you find your life progressing rapidly into your dreams coming true, while the coyote simply destroys itself. Now, if any of you have ever seen Looney Tunes and seen the interactions of these two creatures together, the coyote is forever trying to get the Roadrunner. And the Roadrunner is 100% aware of this, but the Roadrunner doesn't intentionally go after the coyote. Like, the Roadrunner will trip one of the coyote's traps when the coyote has found itself in the exact placement that it expects the Roadrunner to be in. But in a big way, that's almost like, I'm actually seeing it kind of like the angelic realms coming down and triggering a trap for somebody who has tried to lay a trap for you. And then you get to witness it, but you don't get cocky about it. You don't get full of yourself about it. You simply watch these things happen. And then you're like, okay, I need to get my nose back onto the grindstone of what I'm doing. I have a purpose, I have a path, and I have a mission. And what I'm doing just simply matters more. So let the coyote run himself into circles because I'm 10 times faster than him. And it just doesn't matter to me. And this level of detachment from other people's actions and reactions and awareness of your own actions and reactions while also still being aware of theirs is such a beautiful thing. it's this like truly like aligned energy of, I can watch you destroy this stuff, but what's the point? I could just, it's like I'm going to stay in my own lane, but it's, you know, the concept of parents where they're like, I've got eyes in the back of my head. I see everything that you do. And if you don't know this, this is a common thing. I don't know if it's just like American parents are that way, but it's definitely a common thing. I grew up with parents who made me believe they had eyes in the back of their heads, when in reality, I grew up in a small town that is small enough, like literally 120 people population when I was growing up, that everybody knows everybody else. And so you can't get into any trouble because your parents know before you get home, kind of energy. But it made you think that your parents had eyes in the back of their head. You kind of do. In a way, it's like there's almost this energy of the ability to have a dual consciousness within you, where you can perceive what other people are doing, but it's merely for the fact that you don't want to fall into the traps that they're falling into, or you don't want to fall into the traps that they're trying to set for you. And I'm not trying to make anybody paranoid or worried or anything, because I don't see anything like really negative about it. This could even be your shadow. Like the coyote could be a representation of your shadow. Whatever it is, like the coyote is trickster energy. So it's whatever you feel as though you're being manipulated or tricked into or anything like that. You have the ability to use this reflectionary principle within your heart and your mind to work together to recognize any kind of like energies that just don't meld with you. And you can do this so rapidly, because when I touch into the Roadrunner energy, it's like, meet, let's go. Which I can't help but laugh, because literally that used to be my nickname, was Meep, because it was my initials, MEAP. But for you guys, you have this higher level of awareness, and the way that you, I'm hearing compute. So yeah, your brain is like supercomputer, but so is your heart. But none of it is cold. You guys are like really warm, comforting winds. I don't know how else to describe it. You're like warm, comforting winds, but the way that when I touch into your energy, it's like, oh my God, imagine if we could do this and this and this and this. And it's like the amount of creative inspiration that you guys have, and the ability to bring that creative inspiration to fruition rapidly. It's almost like you don't have to think twice, because your heart, as long as your heart and your mind are perfectly aligned, you don't think twice, you just do. And that's a really beautiful energy. It's something that is hard to put in. I'm having a hard time putting it into words, but I can feel it. It's like, it's the essence of the highest consciousness of spirit that is trying to come online with you guys. But for the most part, you have access to it. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very cool. It's very cool. So let's get into the astrological energies and just some of the additional downloads. So I picked up air and earth signs. So that would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius in the 2nd, the 6th, or the 10th house. And it can be any variation of these. So you could have Gemini in the 2nd, the 6th, or the 10th. And, you know, the same with Libra and Aquarius. And remember, when I go through astrological energies, they don't have to apply for this to be your reading. If the reading resonates, if the information resonates, if it feels right, sounds right, and matches synchronistically with your experiences, then it's still your pile. But sometimes there are more specific astrological energies that help you understand how to work with this energy. So some of you may have been diagnosed with anxiety, ADHD, ADD, or may have just simply identified yourself as being someone with the monkey mind, or having a hamster running in the wheel of your mind all the time. Like you can't shut your mind off. And in childhood, that may have been seen as like an actual negative thing, something that actually detracted from your education rather than helped you to expand your mind. And that was not your fault. For those of you where that resonates, That was not your fault. That was the shortcomings of the people that were teaching you, because they did not know how to, they weren't fully equipped to teach a soul of your caliber. And even as a child, the caliber of your soul was able to be seen in the education sector. You may have Mercury in Cancer and or Capricorn at or around the 13th degree. Now, I know how specific this is, but the reason why it's this specific is because the star Sirius is at or around 13 degrees of Cancer. And I was getting this energy that Sirian energy was very strong within your Mercury. So that would make your Mercury either conjunct it or opposing it, because those would be the strongest interactions. And with this, because those are two major aspects, you can go up to I'm actually seeing 8 to 10 degree orb of difference. So anywhere from 3 degrees to 23 degrees. So that I know that spans a lot, but in Cancer and Capricorn, Sirian energy is incredibly strong in both of these signs. And for the most part, for you guys, I'm actually picking up it primarily in Capricorn more than Cancer, because it feels a lot more grounded and there is a lot more challenge energy that I can feel. So, which leads me to the next one, Mercury in earth signs and or houses. So that would be Mercury in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or the 2nd, 6th, or 10th house, or a combination. And then the other one, and this is, again, really, really specific, but I understand why. Mercury retrograde in either your natal or your progressed chart, but not both. And the reason for that, and why it came through for me in that exact way, is because it's an aspect and an energy that I've had to learn how to navigate in my own life. And when I have to learn how to navigate certain things and really understand them, those are the things that I am able to teach to others. So if you have Mercury retrograde in either your natal or your progressed chart, so you could have a progressed planetary shift with your Mercury, your brain literally works on 2 different frequencies. And because of that, it's hard to recognize which frequency your brain is operating on at any given point in time, because your natal energy is different from your essentially when we talk about progressed charts, it's the forward journey. It's the maturation of your thought process and your communication capabilities, and especially with your communication with the spiritual realm, because that's how I always associate Mercury, is how we communicate with the higher realms and then bring that communication into our communication with the physical world. Mercury is kind of like that in-between middleman in our charts. So if you have this, for those of you who have the Mercury retrograde in one of the 2 charts, your heart is what's going to show you what frequency you're on. It's about recognizing whether your frequency is reflecting an inner truth, an outer truth, and in that way, you'll find it via dissonance. If it's an outer truth that doesn't jive with an inner truth, you'll feel dissonance. If it's an inner truth that doesn't jive with an outer truth, you're going to feel dissonance. And then you'll be able to figure out which frequency you're on. When it's the inner truth that doesn't jive with outer truth, that's more the Mercury retrograde, because you're focusing on the inner world. If it's an outer truth that doesn't jive with an inner truth because you're focusing on the outer world, it's a Mercury direct. I really hope that makes sense, because I feel like I'm not explaining it quite so well. So pile 1, if that makes sense and you have that, please let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to know which one of you or how many of you have that, because that's such an interesting energy. And I know when I had to learn how to work with my progressed direct planets, it was like one of the most shocking things ever for my life. And right now, I'm going to full disclosure for you guys. Right now, I'm actually in a personal Pluto return. And that's almost unheard of because it just doesn't happen. And they don't take it into account because Pluto moves so slowly. But my progressed Pluto turned direct and has now returned this year in April, returned to the exact degree, minute, and second that it was in my birth chart. And it's going to be sitting in that degree and minute for the next like 2-3 years. So like massive levels of transformation with me in the outside world based off of the reflection of the transformations of me in my inside world. And I am not used to this kind of Pluto energy. So I'm relearning it. So let's see some information we have. We have magic. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. Earth element. You guys would benefit so much from really getting in touch with the earth element and working with it in just about anything. And on the back, we have protection. So if any of you guys have felt, collectively, we've been getting these kind of energetic waves of dissonance, of fear, of shadows, especially through Scorpio season. We're all experiencing this. And this is actually coming out the day we kick off Sagittarius season, which is so perfect. It's so perfect. I couldn't have planned it better. And guys, I'm literally realizing it right now that it's going to be coming out during Sagittarius season. But this is a really good time for you to realize that even though all those scorpionic energies were really heavy, the more that you stay grounded, the more that you connect with the earth element, the more protected you are. It's almost like you don't have to go above and beyond in protection methods because you have this natural earth magic to you. Some of you may associate yourself with the Fae, the Tuatha De Danann, or especially with the Nordic pantheon. I know what energy I feel right now. Hi, honey. That's for my friend that I can feel in here. I know I just feel her energy really strongly. But you may just feel this natural urge. You may be drawn to herbal medicines, essential oil medicines, anything that really gets your hands in the earth in one way or another. Even if you don't garden, it's about really connecting with that earth energy. And it's kind of like this natural magic for you. And that's really how you balance the energies out between your mind and your heart. Sorry, I just got like weird like hiccup energies. And we have 1s, 3s, and 7s. And this is an energy that I've had before with these specific numbers. I love it. I love it. This is so great. You guys have this like natural ability to tap into the magic of the physical world. It's like I'm seeing somebody who likes to walk through the forest and there's just like shimmers and sparkles through the forest. And you can see it like when you look at a tree and the leaf and it just kind of shimmers. It's like you can see the essence of the magic within the physical world. And this is one of your secret sauce gifts. Like you don't have to work really hard. We've got the 9 of fire. Look, seriously, like this is what it looks like. And she's an elf and she's just kind of like staring at these stars and these energies. I love that. 10 of earth. Yeah, you definitely have this natural way with the elements. But more than anything with earth, it's like there's a treasure trove of earth energy within you. Again, 7 of earth. And like this, he's looking at this. Oh, you guys are pretty amazing. I'm not going to lie. A lot of earth energy. We've got the ace of earth now. Yeah, your divine feminine energy, you may find a connection deeper with your divine feminine energy through the wolf spirit and to your divine masculine energy through the stag spirit or the elk spirit. And then we've got 13 with transformation. Okay. Wow. On the back, we have the king of fire. This is literally, and look, his heart and his head are amplified here. This is literally like spirits coming in and being like, yeah, you got this. Like this is the essence of your soul. You know, that jealousy card has been everywhere. I have to say that jealousy card has literally been everywhere. Every time I shuffle this deck, that jealousy card comes out. And on that note, I got to tell you guys, like Tarot with Tay put up something from Girl Gone Badoo, I think is what it's called, or Gone Girl Badoo. I can't remember what her other channel is. But she put up something about transmuting jealousy, the shadow of jealousy. It was such a beautiful video. It was such a beautiful video. I can't even, you guys, I can't even. So definitely go and check out her channel. It's on her community tab if you don't know her second channel already. But definitely check that out with that jealousy coming up. But that is also letting you know that the more grounded you get, the more in touch you get with this earth element. And for those of you who are like, but I don't have a lot of earth in my chart, it really doesn't matter. This energy is ready to awaken within you. For those of you who haven't awoken it yet. For the past like 6 months or so, I've been deeply working with the earth element. And I can tell you that the level of love and nurturing and protection that you get when you work with the earth element is just out of this world. So ironic, right? But that, if you're feeling that jealousy energy with anybody, this is really a great way to get that protection. And Spirit is confirming everything with this, like the heart and the head being highlighted and amplified. I don't even care that it's the King of Fire. It's literally just the imagery here that's hyper amplified. But here's the thing. All of these figures are kind of like looking this direction. They're looking this way to this. So, but we've got your divine feminine and divine masculine animal archetypes literally staring at you. This is literally the physical world calling to you. There's such a strong like physical world calling for you. And your inner child is asking you to really transform your perspective surrounding you and the earth element. Because there's something here where things are starting to align for you really, really well in your life. And in order for a full transformation to take hold, and what I'm seeing is like, you've got this alignment and this transformation that are really coming together because there's this energy of rebuilding or building again, building anew something in your life. And it doesn't mean that that you're like crashing everything. I'm actually seeing something like, it's like, how do I explain this, Spirit? Can you give me an imagery that works easier? So I'm seeing Lincoln Logs. So say you're building Lincoln Logs and you're creating this cabin with Lincoln Logs, okay? You notice that one of the logs is too short. Now you could leave a gap, or you could be like, okay, let me take this down and see what pieces I have left. How can I shift this? And then you realize that you don't have the right kind of Lincoln Logs. So instead of destroying all the Lincoln Logs you have, you're like, okay, I've got this foundation of Lincoln Logs. So I'm going to put something over top of it. So that's my first floor foundation, essentially, is going to be Lincoln Logs. Now I'm going to combine things together and I'm going to build with Legos. So, and that is that whole like earth and air energy where you're learning how to build it and blend them together, keeping them separate, but still working together in order to create what you're trying to create. And whatever it is that you're trying to create, it's going to be different for everyone. But it has a lot to do with personal finances, personal abundance, and something within the actual physical world. You may be drawn to doing things by hand. So, like, you may be one of those people that when you cook from scratch. Everything is from scratch. You need bread and everything like that. You do it all by hand. Instead of, using all these hand mixers and stuff like that. That may be something where you just like, I'm actually like, weirdly enough, I'm seeing somebody churning butter by themselves. So I don't know if maybe you guys have a farm, if someone here has a farm or anything like that, or this is something you've wanted to try. It's kind of giving me Amish vibes, but not really because it's cell phones. It's a very weird energy here. So we've got the bird's nest. Yeah. And this is about what you're building, this foundation. And when I look at this bird's nest, if you look, there's like this layer of sticks, and then above it, it almost looks like a layer of grass. So it's blending of energies, blending of things together. Yeah. Archangel Gabriel. Again, we've got 333 here. Oh, okay. Yeah. And 1 and 3. Will, wisdom, and mind. Now we've got fire and water. So this, even though it's fire and water on this card, what this is giving me is that confirmation of blending of the opposites. It's blending of the opposites. But once you get this aligned, it's kind of like all the other elements start coming online, and you start aligning all of the elements and directions and chakras and everything together so that you really step fully into a power and an energy of your soul that you may not have had awareness of prior. And you are learning how to actually communicate this higher wisdom. I could have sworn I mentioned angels with you guys. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 6 of Scrolls with the Sands of Time. This has been something that has been divinely timed in your life. You couldn't have rushed it. You couldn't have slowed it down. This is all 100% in divine timing. And what I'm hearing is you're literally doing it all by the book. And when I say by the book, I definitely mean by the book as in the spiritual book, like what we would consider the book of life. In the Akashic records, that's what you're doing. And on the back, we have the waterfall. So this has been about pouring back into yourself and really harnessing the truth and the strength that you have within yourself, because there is a shift coming when you have this alignment of everything. There's this shift coming where the hourglass is about to flip, and you're going to start a new journey. You're going to start just something new. But there's this essence of, with the magic in the earth here with protection, there's this essence of whatever it is that you create moving forward. It's so divinely protected, and you're so divinely aligned that it's all going to be balanced, and everything from the past gets rebalanced. Some of you, were you born in the 6th month or on the 6th day? I don't know why the 6 is suddenly popping out at me, because in the past, the 3s, like for the most part, 3s and 1s are really strong with you guys. But the 6s now are like, hey, we're here for balance. We're here for a readjustment. And, you know, the waterfall is flowing down. The sands are flowing down. It's literally like that as above, so below energy. We're not going to take those. So it is definitely that as above, so below energy. Your cards are literally like, just like, show me. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not surprised, because this actually fell out and then it just flew out again. We've got 32 with transformation. So we've got 2 transformation cards. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. So this is less about like, it's literally saying you're breaking all the chains from the past, the chains of other people. We've got birds in the air. And with the beach, it's literally like, this is an energy where all the elements come together. So the earth and the air element feel like, it feels like the last balancing of this transformation. You may have been somebody who worked a lot with, fire and water in the beginning of your spiritual journey. And as of late, you've been called more to air and earth. And that's a really beautiful calling when that comes in, because you know that you're transforming, adapting, and melding of more into one. That's really beautiful. What else do we have? There we go. Unity, marriage, and the Phoenix. Okay. So for those of you who are in connections, in relationships, take it day by day. Remember that everything that you're feeling inside is reflected in the outside world. So don't take things personally, but realize that you guys have the ability to really meld together emotionally. For those of you who this doesn't resonate with, and it's just like, because I don't usually work with relationship energies, even though it's been coming in a lot. I try to stay away from relationship energies because I believe in self-empowerment leads to emotional awareness, enough that you don't need someone to tell you anything about your love life. And I am here to tell you that what I'm seeing here with unity, with marriage, with transformation, with Phoenix, that this has 100% to do with all of your energies coming into a union together. It's more of a divine union, a spiritual union within yourself, you and your higher self, you and your soul coming together. There's like this marriage of opposites coming into your life, and this is transforming everything. You have 3 cards of transformation here. Transformation, transformation, and the Phoenix. This is huge spiritual energy. This is huge spiritual changes. With unity and marriage being the center focus of this, it's not necessarily about a marriage, a relationship, or anything like that. This is about your soul, your divine masculine, divine feminine energies, your shadow and your light. They're coming into this harmony, this union, this balance, this blending. And when we think of a blending of things, that is literally what marriage is. Marriage is 2 things coming together, 2 people coming together, and they blend their awarenesses, their experiences, the ways that they perceive the world, the ways that they love, and the ways that they operate. They bring and blend them together. Each one giving up pieces of themselves that don't fit into the whole anymore, and each one accepting parts of the other that help to elevate who they are on a personal basis through the lens of another person. It's a really beautiful thing when you come into a harmonious marriage, but when you can come into this harmonious marriage energy and unity energy within yourself, it's stepping into wholeness. It's this energy of you're finally stepping into wholeness within yourself. You're coming to this conclusion of I am whole in and of myself and I need no one else. On the back of the deck, we have the World card with 36, and be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. Next calendar year, because it's 2023, we're moving into a 7-year, and there's a lot of prep energy coming in. I've even been picking up the 7 energy coming in. I'm super excited because I'm a life past 7. So it's like, yeah, bring on the seeker energy. But this is indicating that throughout the course of embracing who you are in the secret sauce, embracing this transformative energy that you have and capability that you have, you literally open up a world of possibilities for yourself and for anyone in your life that you share your life with. And it doesn't have to be relationship wise, guys. Like, I need to just emphasize that because I believe that we're all meant to open doors for each other in very unique ways. But for you, your secret sauce is literally you can transform anything. You blend energies together. Right now, you're in a stage where it's like the final leg of a journey that you've been on for quite some time, like 3 to 4 years. You've been on this journey for 3 to 4 years for a lot of you. For some of you, it's 1 to 3 years. But you've been on this journey and you're ready for this change, this transformation, this transition. And when I keep looking at the sands of time and I keep seeing someone taking the hourglass and flipping it upside down, and it's like you now have unlimited amount of time. It's the perception of time being as maximized or as minimized as you want to see it. You're literally transforming everything and you're just flipping it and you're like, okay, like let's start again. Let's do this. Let's do that, because you're not you have all your energies blended together. You've learned how to create this awareness of the reflection that you contain within your very heart and soul. And because of that, you're starting to move forward into the world, giving birth to something new, really showing the world what you can create and what they can create, while just sidestepping everybody else who wants to go down the path of self-destruction. And it isn't that you don't care about the people that don't want to go down, or that you don't care about the people who want to go down the path of self-destruction. It's that sometimes we have to recognize that we're not there to save those people. We're there to lead by example, to show them how to save themselves. And we can't show them how to save themselves by beating down their front door. It doesn't work that way because all you're doing is triggering them. So if you see it, circumvent it, and then rapidly progress your way forward, blending all these energies together, you actually create greater levels of transformation within your own life and within the world. And you unify so many more people into like this blended amalgam. Like you have the ability to take magic in this world, to harness physical magic in this world and create a melting pot because you are the melting pot. It's like you're the cauldron and you bring all these people in and you blend them all together and then you just go like, here, shiny. There's this really beautiful essence of you have the key to the Philosopher's Stone within you. On an energetic, on a spiritual level, you have the key to the Philosopher's Stone. You are the Phoenix. You transform the world. But you don't do it by forcefully making people listen to you. You just sit back and do what you need to do, and they come to you. They unify with you. You unify with yourself, and because of that, there's such strong, like high level energy here. And if you guys feel like I am talking about something that you couldn't possibly be, I want you to really sit back and think about yourself for a minute here. Like if you chose this pile and you stuck in for this long through this reading, you really need to take a step back and ask your head and your heart, like right now, be like, hey, how do I feel about this reading? How do I truly feel about this reading? And if your heart is steady and your mind is going, that can't be possible, then you know that this is a shadow internally that's saying you're not good enough to be this person. Because I guarantee you are. I wouldn't be able to read the energy otherwise, and you wouldn't be drawn here if you weren't. Sometimes you have to step into the transformation of your own inner truth. Rise like the phoenix. Step into the fires and allow yourself to rise like the phoenix. If you've already done your phoenix rising, now you're walking through your life blending the energies of air and earth because you already have blended fire and water together, which means that you know what opposites are. You hold the extremes and you move through it. Nothing can defeat you. It's like you're walking protection in this world. This is such a beautiful energy. Like I truly have to disconnect from this energy because I could sit in it and keep telling you about yourself for probably hours on end. And I would, because I feel touching your energy, usually when I touch energies, you guys will hear me get really amplified and really excited. And I'm really excited, but I am so grounded and so settled and so calm. I love your energy. I love, love, love your energy. And I know it did not come without a cost. And the cost at the time may have seemed really, really vast, really great, really high of a cost. But I don't think it was as much as you may have perceived it at the time, because this shift that I feel is kind of like the past just melts away. It's almost like you could look back at your past and it just doesn't exist anymore. The blending of the earth and the air elements and your head and your heart aligning in this way and becoming the reflections of each other, that's an amazing, amazing ability. That is an amazing secret sauce that you have walking through this world. I am absolutely, absolutely incredibly impressed, Pile 1. Seriously, you guys are freaking phenomenal. All right. Like I said, I could keep doing this, but I think it's time to let you guys go. I want to say thank you so, so much. Thank you literally from the entire world. Thank you, Pile 1. Because doing this, doing what you do and working in this way and really putting in the work like this and keeping your focus on you instead of focusing on everybody else, doing everything else, like we need more people like this in the world. So thank you so much. You guys are absolutely incredible. I am honored. I am blessed. I am truly grateful to read your energy. All right, Pile 1s. If this resonates, well, let's do this first. Let's give some massive levels of gratitude. First of all, thank you both for your energy on my channel, but on my child. Interesting. your energy on my channel, but also for the energy that you bring to the world. Thank you so much to your guides and my guides for connecting and bringing forth this awareness into my energy so that we could channel these messages. And Spirit, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am always so in awe with how we work together and how well we reach people when I channel you. It amazes me. It brings me so much joy. It fulfills me, but it also helps other people in such a beautiful way to be seen, to be heard, and to have that in their hearts and their awareness so they don't feel alone and they go and they live their fullest life. And that's such a beautiful blessing that I get to share with the world because of the work that we do. So thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, pile one. Now the YouTube things. If this resonated, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. Down in the comment section below, I want to know how this resonated. Let me know any of the information. I am so curious about you guys in a very like, you're really cool, I really like you kind of way. In the description box below, don't forget to check out links to rising sign messages. They go out every week for every rising sign. There is a separate message for every rising sign. You get the collective energies in the beginning and then a directed rising sign message after that. And it helps you live energetically with the moon, with the emotions, understanding the collective energies, but also understanding your place within the collective. They are amazing, amazing messages. I am always so awe-inspired to work with those energies as well as these here. So definitely check out that. There are also links in the description box to book a personal reading, links to donate to my channel, and to my author page on Amazon. So definitely check that stuff out. And I will leave you guys here. I love you guys so much. Thank you again. I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile two. And welcome to your messages about what your secret sauce is. So I have a funny story to tell you guys because it happened before I started filming your pile. So I went to go get my nails done, which pretty like red sparkly and yeah. 'Tis the season. We're shifting out of Thanksgiving season and into the Christmas season. So it was time to like do that like festive little shift. But as I was sitting and getting my nails done, the person, like the man who does nails next to the station that I was at, was talking to the owner. And the owner and I are pretty good friends. Like, you know, I freaked him out the first time I went to go get my nails done. Because I did a mediumship read on him and I was like, am I freaking you out? He goes, yeah, kind of. It was really funny. But they were sitting there talking and it was so funny because literally I could not understand a word they were saying. They were speaking in Vietnamese and direct, like there were two words that I understood and it was secret sauce. And I was like, thank you, universe. So I told the owner, I was like, you'll never believe what the theme of the reading is that I'm doing right now. And he goes, no, it's not. I was like, yeah, it is. It was really one of those absolutely funny moments where the universe is like, we're just going to make sure that you know that you're like 100% supported. And that tells me so much. Massive confirmation for you guys that this message is really going to open up so much awareness for you guys in ways that you maybe haven't been able to verbalize this truth about yourself. So we're working with the whale card and the Othala or Odal rune. And the Othala and Odal rune is all about the ancestral homeland. Now, with the whale and the Odal rune combined, I'm getting like this strong Mintakan energy. Very strong, watery energy to you guys. So One of the things that started coming through as I was tapping into the energies, though, of both the cards and the runes, is that each of these cards, this is actually, for those of you, I feel like there's readers who are like, what cards are these? These are the Wild Elemental Oracle. For any readers who are like, I want to check those cards out, by all means. I got it at, I think, Barnes & Noble here in my hometown. But each of the cards are correlated to a different element. But the runes themselves, whereas they do have some elemental correlations, I didn't use what they had set. I used what Spirit led me to, because it's about how you combine these elements together. So that we have the water element with the whale rune and the earth element with the Odal and Othala rune. And the message that I got with this combination of water and earth, which is a lot, like, you guys are so firmly in your divine feminine energy, it's outrageous. But it's not in an imbalanced kind of divine feminine. It's not even in a dark divine feminine. You are sitting in your regal sovereignty, in your regal receptivity, divine feminine energy. And the first message that I got said, freedom comes through equality and harmony, through balanced giving and taking, through finding home within oneself and outside oneself with a group, family, or clan of those who are alike. Now, you guys may have water in earth signs water in earth houses. water in earth signs. Yeah, sure. Okay. No, I meant water in earth houses or vice versa. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in the 2nd, 6th, or 10th house and in any variation of that. Or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in the 4th, 8th, or 12th houses and any variation of those combination. There is this heavy emphasis on Taurus in the 4th house, which would make you, I believe, wow, guys, I am astrologically like drawing a blank. Let's see. You want to know how I do this? Taurus, Gemini. Nope. Taurus. See. Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius. I would have been right. I was like, that can't be right. Nope. Yep. That would make you an Aquarius rising. I'm sorry. It's one of those days. So it would make you an Aquarius rising. And I want to reiterate, you don't have to have these placements for this energy or this pile to be yours. These are just the basic energies that I'm picking up. So give me one moment. We're going to open the door. Come on. This always seems to happen. And I think it's when I am either filming Aquarius or Sagittarius energies. It's like my cats and dogs just are like, I got a bug, you guys. Anyway, one of the second message that came through, it said, although we are all a part of the whole, when you truly find your place of belonging with those you belong with, all your unique eccentricities will be loved, respected, nurtured, highlighted, and revered rather than shunned or rejected. For those whose families do not fit here, your ancestors surround you to guide you forth to true soul family. Once you willingly surrender to trusting yourself and the guidance you are receiving, then these connections come in. So in a big way, in a really big way, this is about you guys coming to a place where you accept that you belong to yourself. You accept that you belong to your ancestors, but not necessarily your immediate or close extended family. I definitely understand that lesson, that path, because I'm on that path currently in this incarnation. It's part of the journey that I'm on right now in my life. So I wasn't always on this journey. I was very connected to my family for a really long time, but only recently I have really separated myself from that. And when I separated myself from my immediate family and my like close extended family, it was at that point that, energetically speaking, I left an opening for new connections to come in, for healthy connections to come in. Because I got to tell you guys, and I'm telling you this because I feel like you are about to shift this in your life. And this message right here is completely separate from what your secret sauce is, but I have to tell you guys what's coming through. So this is something that I feel is about to shift in your life, where you have done such deep healing and letting go of certain family members, whether these be your parents, siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins, grandparents, even just letting go of family patterning. Being like, okay, I understand the patterning that was there. And as much as I'm still connected to my family, so I still see them, I still speak to them here and there, I am not allowing myself to be energetically impacted by them. That's the big key here. You guys are shifting into this energy. I feel like you're not quite there yet. For some of you, you are. For some of you, you are shifting into it. And as you continue to shift into this, you actually are leaving a hole in your energy, but it's not an unhealthy hole. This is so weird. I got to ask you guys to bear with me because I'm trying to translate what I'm seeing. So it's like you have your aura, okay? And within your aura, there's this subsection, and I've never seen this before, and this is brand new to me too. So there's like a subsection of auric field that is like a static field that's connected to other people. You guys might have been in my creation superstation pile that was like, oh, that's a hair. Sorry. I just squirreled on you guys. You guys may have been in my creation superstation and I can't remember which pile it was. And I actually don't want to give you a number. I just heard the pile number in my head and then I heard don't say it. Just because if you were in that pile, you'll know what I mean, where there was something new being written up. So I'm going to leave it at that because I feel like some of you need to go and listen to that reading and need to do it with an intuitive basis. So I'm trying to be really like tiptoe around because I don't like to direct you guys to something specific that I have channeled. I prefer you guys actually trusting yourselves and following your own inner compass, your own inner guidance, instead of following what I tell you, because that's disingenuous to me. And that's just my take on it. That you may not think that way or feel that way. And I totally respect that. But that's just how I take it. But going back to this static auric field that I'm picking up. So our auras have many layers. And I've never seen this before, but it's kind of like an overlayer it's not the complete overlayer, but it's like there's this overlayer that has the ability to have these kind of electric connections. I'm actually seeing like, in the wintertime where I'm at, because I live in North Dakota, where I'm at, the air gets really dry in the wintertime. So if you don't pick your feet up properly when you touch someone, you get a shock. And these aren't small shocks. Like my husband and I are notorious for this. We'll like shock each other on the lips all the time when we kiss. And it hurts. It's painful, guys. Like super painful. But that's kind of what I'm seeing is this spark, this shock, but not in a painful way. Because of coming into contact energetically with, I'd like to say a member of your soul family, but it's not always that way. It's just kind of like a soul recognition. So we can go through this life and we can interact with souls that are like past life interactions, past life relationships, or past life. I'd almost say it's like a past life acquaintance where we spark something in each other, but we're not meant to stay in each other's lives. And both parties really kind of energetically recognize it. And so it's this beautiful thing when you come together, it's like spark and it's almost like a firework. And then you guys go about, but you guys are more hypercharged. I hope this makes sense. Like, if any of you guys have clairvoyance, which I feel like a lot of you do, if you close your eyes and ask your guides to kind of show you a visual the way that you would tap into it, I'm actually hearing that will be shown to you. But I'm getting the sense that, like, there's this section of that static field that is constantly sparking as you're connected to family members. And as you kind of distance yourself energetically from them, that smooths out so that it's not sparking anymore. And that's what, to me, feels almost like an energetic hole, but it's not an actual hole. It's just this kind of tempered energy that used to be constantly sparking. And now it's just very calm, very tempered energy, because that section is ready for new constants to come into your life. And healthy ones, really healthy ones, like surprisingly. So when we talk about, your secret sauce. So this is a part of you, like how you blend together. So this is really like, I was drawing so firmly to the elements and how you take these elements and blend them together. And now you guys are working with two divine feminine elements, because earth and water are the two elements that represent divine feminine energy. So this is telling me that you guys are really anchoring your emotional body down into this world. You're anchoring this empathic ability down into the physical world. This may be something that you've been struggling with for a really, really long time in your life. Getting in touch with feeling as though you belong in this world. And especially if you resonate with being a Mintakan starseed, that can make you feel really, really outsider-like. I just heard Stay Golden Pony Boy. And I got to tell you guys, I haven't read The Outsiders all the way through at all. Like, I've started it, but I've never finished it. But I get that sense that you felt so outside of this world because you understand things on such a deep emotional level that the rest of the world just doesn't see the way that you do. And it isn't, I don't feel like it's painful. It may have been in the past, but it doesn't feel like it's painful for you anymore. Now it's more of kind of like, I'd almost call it woe. Like, I'd almost call it like, it's not quite sadness, and maybe it's not as bad as woe, but that's just kind of the energy. Melancholy. That's the right word. There's a melancholic energy to your emotional body right now, because it's like you can see your immediate family and you can see where they could go right, where they could make shifts, where they could make changes, where they could come into greater awareness. But it's not your place to tell them, to educate them, to guide them, because they're on their own journey. They're on their own journey. And it's really hard when you have such a beautiful heart attachment, or not even attachment, but just such a beautiful, like, energetic heart chakra, the way that you guys do, where you just love, where you just naturally love. But what I'm getting a lot from you guys is that with the Odal rune especially, and the whale, this ancestral homeland is like Mintakan energy getting poured into you more and more and more. So that the more that gets poured into you, the more that you start resonating with different bodies of water here in the earth plane. And the more that you resonate with bodies of water here in the earth plane, the more you actually are finding your home here, whether you're at those bodies of water or not. So like I said earlier, I'm in North Dakota, so I am landlocked, but my mother-in-law lives in Florida, and I went down there this past summer of 2022. And I came home with 2 bags of sand, which, funnily enough, like, of course I've got 2 bags of white beach sand, literally written ocean sand on them. But, you know, it goes through, my bag went through TSA and it got flagged. And so I had I opened my suitcase when I finally got home, and I was like, oh, TSA left me a little present, a little note in my bag. They're so wonderful and lovely. And I'm like, I bet they thought it was Coke. Whoops. So it was just like really funny. But I also brought home water bottles full of ocean water. And being up here, it's really hard because, I mean, the river that I live by, at least it gives me some like natural body of water, but it's not the same as the ocean. It doesn't have that same energetic feel as the ocean. And so having a bottle of ocean water, I actually will have times where I want to get reconnected with the ocean. So I will unscrew the lid and I will take just a little bit of like a drop with my fingertips and I'll put it all the way down my chakra system. And it helps get me back aligned with that body of water. And with that, I feel more connected with the water element, but I have been working on connecting with the earth element as well. So where you guys are energetically is like where I'm aiming at with my divine feminine energy, is really grounding that emotionality into the world. Because when you do that, you almost anchor in higher levels of emotional awareness so that you don't have to work nearly as hard to be understood emotionally, nor to have your emotional needs met, because it becomes a natural flow around you because your energy is naturally exuding this like utmost respect. It's that message of coming into connections where you'll be loved, respected, nurtured, highlighted, and revered for this. So it's kind of like the one thing that energetically made you feel the most real, I mean, the word is really rejected that I keep hearing and feeling. The most rejected from your family is the one thing that's going to bring in those who will actually admire you for what you are, but respect it without like putting you on a pedestal. It's like they're going to meet you out at your level. And I love that. Yeah, we have courage here, 37. Okay. And the full moon, 29. This reduces to a 10. This reduces to 11. I'm sorry, guys. We've got the water on the back with the card 18. I love this. Love this because we've got a 9, 10, 11 here. You guys might be my pile that like always has progressive numbers that show up. But the last full moon that we had was actually the full moon in Taurus. Yeah, full moon in Taurus, and it was a total lunar eclipse. So that full moon may have really helped you step more into this emotional energy, eclipsing out all of the fear that kept you from bringing in that emotional energy and getting it grounded. And that makes a lot of sense why I was picking up that Taurian energy. So that if you are an Aquarius rising, that full moon really illuminated a lot about your family line. All right, let's see. What else do we have for you guys? I wanted to pop out. We've got intricacies in industry. So this is about stuff that you're building in your life. And intricacies in industry talks about paying really close attention to the details, being really detail oriented because you know that you are building. Basically, it's like this person is building this beautiful cathedral. And if you think about the cathedrals in ancient times, they are so intricately made. They are so beautifully intricately made. And that takes a deep attention to detail. It takes a lot of conscious awareness. This is kind of the energy that I get for your emotions more than anything. But we are about to move into a 7-year, and that energy has been coming up. Yeah, the Akashic Library, which you know what? The whale actually talks about being connected to the Akashic field. And I'm so glad that this came up because that actually reminds me. Whoa, okay. We've got the Oracle of Delphi. We actually have quite a few cards, and I'm going to take them all because I know that they're all for you guys. One of Scrolls, On Track, Sands of Time, 6 of Scrolls, and the King of Roses. Let's get your back of the deck energy, but I'm not going to keep it out here. We have 19 with Reflection, and look, another full moon. Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about has everything to do with the coloring here. Now, the 2 and the 1 are definitely considered the major arcana in this particular tarot deck. But even the outlined edges feel very much like red. This is red. It's more kind of brownish or bronze, but there is that energy. So we've got red and green. And to me, that's the root chakra and the heart chakra very strongly. And I'm kind of discounting the energy of what the suits are meant to be. So what this is really telling me is that you guys had this, it's kind of like this big, huge energetic shift during that full moon in Taurus. And especially if you have Taurus in a water house. Again, you don't have to have that placement, but this is what I am feeling really, really strongly. You also could have your Venus in a water sign. That's a possibility because Venus rules Taurus. And if Venus is in a water sign, then Taurus is ruled by a watery Venus. So that's a possibility here too. You're learning through this full moon, after this full moon phase, you're really learning a lot more about your emotional body, your emotional connection to your gifts, to the Akashic field, to the wisdom that you carry within yourself, how to bring those forth, how to really open yourself up to them. You guys were no, you weren't. Okay. I was like, you may have been drawn to another pile, and I wasn't going to say that, except that there are pieces getting put together. So if you came from another pile or you were drawn to another pile, hi guys, what's up? So this is talking a lot about realizing the journey that you're on. All of these figures are kind of indicating a specific direction. Now, remember we talked about progression. These are all indicating a direction forward while the King of Roses is coming this way. So this is what I'm talking about, that whole static energy field. We talked about people coming in that make you feel like you belong. Now, the King of Roses, it's more like the King of Cups energy, but I don't see this as like a counterpart or a romantic anything. What I'm seeing is it's the type of community, the type of connections, the type of friendships, partnerships, business partnerships, all of that you're bringing into your life since this full moon, and the full moon really getting you to reflect on your own sense of destiny, bravery, ability, connection to spirit, channeling abilities, your own psychic gifts, and whether you are on the right track in your life, whether now is the time to make changes, and really reflecting on divine timing. Everything has come together in such a beautiful way so that your heart and your root can really align to each other and flow together so that you feel very, very comfortable, very grounded, and very centered in your emotions. There's this energy that exudes off of you, and I think this is why I keep getting Taurus in the 4th house energy, is this energy that comes off of you is a very, very like grounded, down to earth heart. It's very grounded and down to earth emotional center. And this is because you have had some deep ancestral healing that has been going through your entire energetic system, and in your dream state. I'm picking up from downloads from the Akashic records. For some of you since January of this year, for some of you since Lionsgate, and for others of you since the summer solstice. And I'm hearing you'll know which you are. But this shift that you made during Scorpio season, this shift and change that you made during Scorpio season, whether conscious or unconscious, has really helped temper that static from being connected to either an old soul tribe or your physical family, like your biological or any like immediate family, like the people that raised you, essentially. Okay. that it really like it tempered that down so that you could welcome them in. And it's literally that full moon. That full moon eclipse literally just like radically transformed your entire life. There is such a grounded feel to you now. And I don't get the sense that this is something that it's almost like you woke up one morning and you're like, how does this work? Like, how am I feeling this way? But you just are. You don't have to try and figure out the hows. Just trust it. We've got 20 with call, 14 with patience, and then we've got the messenger of air. And on the back of the deck, we have the 8 of water. Yeah, you guys realized your treasure chest. You realized that you were sitting there waiting for someone else's ship, like waiting for someone else to come to the table, to meet you halfway. And you got tired of it. And so you heard the call to be patient, to wait for the right time, to wait for the right messages, to wait for the right guidance, the right awareness. And it's almost like you put out this energetic call to pull in the right people. And the people that you're pulling in are those that are actually very emotionally intelligent, very emotionally adept, very, very aware of their hearts. Some of them may also resonate with being a Mintakan starseed. But essentially, like your guys' secret sauce is you just know when to move and when not to move. You know what to do energetically. You know when to disconnect from people. And you know, it's like you know the ins and outs of the Akashic records so well that you don't even have to try to tap into them. You just are a part of them. And because you're a part of them, you know every step of your journey ahead of time. And some of you may have said things like, it's like something took over my body. It's like something just completely took over my mind, my body. And I started doing these things and everything changed and it's all for the better. But it's like, I almost, when I look back, I didn't seem to have full control over what I was doing. This is what happens when your higher self steps in. And that can really only happen if you've contracted for that situation in this life. So not everybody has that ability. Some people have to actually open themselves up and welcome in their higher selves. And other people, their higher selves just are like, I'm going to come in and do this. And then I'm going to, pull back again and let you handle it, because it's like this really beautiful symbiotic connection between you and your higher self. And it's almost like as soon as your higher self puts out this call, it's like you go immediately energetically into the Akashic records and you pull all the information that you need in order to make a change and to move forward in a new direction, or to move forward on the track that you're on, knowing that everything is happening exactly as it's meant to. And you just get filled with this knowing. You guys may be claircognizant, clairsentient, but it's deeper than that. And clairvoyant for sure. And there's just this, gosh, you guys have just this like instinctual knowing. It's so beautiful. And it comes directly from your heart. It's like it comes from your heart and shoots down like a lightning bolt into your root chakra. And you're just like, okay, I know I have to ground here. I know I have to do this. I know I have to do that. Now is the time to release this. Now is the time to release that. And you just do, it's like being a natural witch. You know what to do. You know exactly what, you don't know how you know, but you know, it's like knowing the intent of working with certain pieces of this world. Like me with ocean water or with ocean sand. Beach sand, you just know that it is here for a reason, and it's calling for you to work with it, and you know what it's calling for you to work with it on. And it doesn't matter if the outside world says this is not what it's for or this is what it's for. You're like, no, this is what it wants to do. That's a really beautiful energy. You guys may work with the ocean tides, so lunar cycles as well. You may maybe you were born during a full moon and you're learning how to harness the energy of that full moon. Your moon could have been in Sagittarius, I'm hearing, because when I see the lightning bolts and think of that, I think of Zeus, and then Zeus leads me to Jupiter, and that leads me to Sagittarius. So you might have had a moon in Sagittarius. The full moon in Sagittarius may be what initiates this for you guys. But I just see that you guys have been really like detail-oriented when it comes to your own life path. So we have the card 6 with Chariot, charge ahead with confidence, stay strong and focused. The Sun, which is the card 30, open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. And on the back, we have Angel and another 2. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. So this talks about those 2 elements coming together and really harmonizing together. But for the most part, what I'm seeing, guys, is literally like your secret sauce is just knowing when to move, knowing when not to move, knowing what to do. You just instinctually know what to do. You instinctually know where you're meant to go. You instinctually know when you're meant to wait. You instinctually know, see, understand. You guys may resonate with knowing or having all the clairs. But there's something here, a lot here that has to do with your ancestors. If you have not yet cultivated a relationship with your ancestors, they are really pulling for you to do that because that's really going to expand this. Alternately, some of you may have angelic ancestors. You may be connected to Cancerian energy, but again, we have the moon out here. We have that water element, and I keep picking up 4th house. So that is very much Cancerian energy. And now with the Chariot, we definitely have Cancerian energy. You could have Cancer in the 6th house, actually. That would be interesting. We do have Earth energy. We did get that. Oh my God, we did get that. Oh, okay. All right. So essentially here, guys, what I'm getting here is, and I feel like this reading has been kind of off the wall all over the place, but that to me tells me that your secret sauce is really that eccentricity, that uniqueness that is you. It's like nothing can be pinpointed about you, but everything about you is exactly pinpoint on. It's like you have this beautiful precision or ability to be very precise with what you do in the world, but no one can be exactly precise with you. And that's why now with you learning how to tap into different kinds of families, different kinds of energetic ancestors, different kinds of like starseed systems, different places and peoples and things like that, you actually are opening yourself up to an easier flow in connectivity with people who are as emotionally aware and as emotionally in tune as you are. It's almost as though you create the domino effect that brings in the people that are right for you. Wow, whatever it is that happened for you guys during the Taurus full moon, and it literally is like the Taurus full moon. I cannot negate that. Just something with it. That eclipse has literally changed everything about your energy in a really beautiful way. In like a truly beautiful way. I feel so at peace sitting in your energy. I don't feel like I need to sit here and like, let me break this down further. I just feel like you guys have found a sense of inner peace and inner awareness of exactly the right time to move, exactly where to move, exactly when to move and how to move. And you just have this knowing about you that takes it deeper than claircognizance. Like it's more. You guys are more. You are my more pile in this reading. That's all I get is just you're more. You're more than what can be described in words, for there are no words in the English language. There are no words in any language to describe what your energy is. It just is. And that's a really beautiful thing because that's how I view source energy. That's how I view the oceans, really. Like there is no words to describe the vastness and the depths and the mystery that is the ocean. We don't have words. I use vast and depth and mystery, but those do not do it justice for how it feels. For how it feels. That to me is your secret sauce. No one can exactly explain how amazing you are, what you are, who you are, how you can do the things that you can do, but you just can, you just are. And because of that, in the past, you likely have had really tumultuous interactions because your energy is so high level that it triggers other people into states of, essentially states of the judgment call. And all you can do is sit there and be the example of alchemy, be the example of dedication, of determination, of truth. And you're in this phase after that full moon, you're in this phase where all those emotionally aware, emotionally healed connections are going to begin coming in, because your static connectivity energy field, auric field, is open for those. That's why I kept getting that whole energy. It's an opening now. That's that divine feminine. You have really broken through all of the worries, the pains, the fears, and the illusions of this world that have held back your divine feminine. And you are in a beautiful state of healthy, balanced receptivity. And you know exactly when to do things, exactly when to direct your divine masculine. And that is so, so admirable. I need you guys to understand how truly amazing and awe-inspiring this energy really is. Okay, pile 2. Thank you so much for being on my channel. Thank you. You guys are incredible. I want to say thank you to your guides and mine for facilitating the connections between our energies. Thank you so much, Spirit. Spirit, these messages always blow me away. You never know what to expect, but I am always so, so inspired by the people that you bring into my awareness, the energies and the messages that I am able to share with the collective through your lens and my filter. It absolutely leaves me feeling so humbled and blessed, and I am so grateful. So thank you so much, Spirit. All right, pile 2. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I upload another video. Down in the description box, there are a multitude of links to my other channel, Chemistry with Kismet, Rising Sign messages, links to book a personal reading, donate to my channel, and links to my Amazon author page where you will find my self-help books and the Planetary Retrograde Guidebooks of 2022. Let me know in the comment section below how this resonated. Whether you guys knew this about yourself, whether I'm telling you anything that's like new. I'm curious. I am curious because I can't pinpoint you guys, and that doesn't frustrate me. It really excites me because that's sometimes how I feel about other people when they come into contact with me. And yeah, you guys really opened up a lot more for me when I was channeling. So I really appreciate it. So I would love to know how this resonated. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comment section. All right, pile 2. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, my amazing, lovely, wonderful pile 3s. If you chose pile 3, you chose the Worm card, which is card number 4, and the Sowilo, or the Sun rune. So one of the biggest parts of this reading is the elemental nature of the 2 cards, or the card and the rune. So with the Worm, we're working with the earth element, which is, I don't think, a real shock for anyone. But with the Sowilo rune, with the correlation to the sun, I actually picked up a lot of fire energy. So with your pile especially, we're working with the divine feminine energy of the earth element, as well as the divine masculine energy of the sun element, or the fire. Yeah, the sun element, the fire element. So the first thing that I was picking up with these had to do with astrological energies. And I do want to preface this with, you don't have to have these energies for this reading to apply. But if you do have these energies, take it as an extra layer of confirmation as these messages roll out, that this is the right pile for you, that you chose right, that you are in tune with your own intuition. This whole reading is all about you guys. It has everything to do with you and what makes you just this unique little mixture of who you are. I don't know, guys. I've been feeling weird lately in like the best way possible. Like everything in the world just seems so upbeat and positive for me right now. And if I can infuse all my readings with this energy, I'm going to do it because I'm going to lift the collective up one person at a time. I'm literally doing the cha-cha in my chair. And I have no rhythm, none whatsoever. So me doing the cha-cha in my chair is actually pretty funny. Such a shame you guys can't see me, huh? Maybe I'll take my friend Odessa's advice and put myself on camera one of these days as I'm channeling. You guys would be able, yes, I just snorted. Oh my gosh, you guys would be able to see all the weird things that I do as I channel. Like I literally sit here and dance horribly or like stare off into space and like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe I should just be like, hey, are you ready for an experience? It's the Monica experience. It would be so funny. Okay, let's get into your astrological energies. I'm getting off on a tangent. It's a fun day. We're going with your secret sauce. So this tells me that your secret sauce gets people kind of squirrely. You might make people like really nervous, excited. Almost like people, God, I get this energy of like, how would you feel if you met your idol in real life, like IRL? And I don't abbreviate anything. And yes, I said abbreviate just because I think it's really funny because it bothers my kids. Because they'll say things like, oh, Eliza has this thing where I like literally scream at her to stop. I'm like, no, because she'll be like, LOL. And I'm like, please stop, please stop, please stop. Don't do this. So then I'll be like, why do you have to abbreviate everything? And then she'll be like, Mom, stop. Anyway, you guys may make people feel very, very kind of squirrely. Like I get this like celebrity energy, like, oh my God, for real? And if you don't realize that you make people feel this way, you make people feel this way because this is the energy that I'm getting. Like if I were to explain this energy in the best way, in terms of tarot readers, because there are certain tarot readers that I would totally fangirl with meeting simply because they have like a direct line to spirit. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Like you literally help the collective so much. I would totally fangirl with like Chloe Taylor because she's like a genius. She's like a psychological, spiritual genius. I love the way her brain works. Aso Tarot because she has radically transformed pop culture into nothing but spirituality, and I love it. Kino Tarot because, and Tarot because both of them, their music is just insane, and it literally is otherworldly when they sing. Roseology because she's untouchable. She is like the mafia reader. She is on such a different level. And I would love to interact with her energy. However, I actually have heard people get this way about me, but regardless, alternately, like it would be like, oh my God. Okay, so I grew up in the 90s. Spirit's like siphoning through all of these different images. And I'm like, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. Please get me something that I can relate to. And this isn't necessarily how you guys would relate because seriously, okay, fine. Spirit keeps showing me like a bunch of teeny bopper girls outside a Justin Bieber concert in the early 2000s, I think. I don't know. Whenever Justin Bieber hit the scenes and he was like the little kid version of Justin Bieber before he tatted himself up and grew his hair really long and got all emo and then on emo, whatever. I lose track. But it's kind of that energy of like all the people waiting to meet their famous celebrity. Your energy makes people get squirrely, like the crowd waiting for, like the teenage girls waiting for Justin Bieber. Okay, so you may have your sun, in Earth signs. That's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or you could have your sun in Earth houses in the 2nd, the 6th, or the 10th house. You could have fire signs in Earth houses, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in the 2nd, 6th, or 10th house, and any variety of those. Or you could have your Mercury, Venus and or Saturn in fire signs. One or all of the planets could be applicable to this. Or fire houses. That's the 1st, the 5th, and the 9th. So it's mixing the earth and fire elements within the chart in some way, shape, or form. So you look to the rulers. That's the Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. Look to the rulers and see which energies they're in per houses or per zodiac elements. And I got a very specific message for you guys. And this is why your energy and your message are showing exactly where the dissonance is for why you wouldn't believe that that's what your energy does to people. So it says, you're not bait to be dangled for someone else to catch their desire or sustenance or anything of the sort. Like I got desire and then I got sustenance and then I got etc. So essentially I was seeing someone fishing for the catch of a lifetime. So they're fishing and they are aiming at something that they have always desired. And they interact with you and your energy, your gifts, your wisdom, I just heard power, and how you shine into the world. Knowing, and this is, I want to be very clear. The word that slammed in, and when I say slammed in, I see it with my clairvoyance, like spelled out in capital letters, highlighted, neon sign, brightness. This is past behaviors. So this is why I say you may not be aware of your energy yet because you're still working through this past energy and you're coming out of it to shine more fully into the world. So I was seeing you as the viewer and the past energies of self-sacrificial behavior. So you would allow someone to actually dangle you, like put you on the hook, like you would use an earthworm to catch a fish, to lure in the thing, the person, the vocation of their actual desire. For instance, I have an old friend and we are not connected anymore, but this old friend would come to me with chaos, with drama, with needing saving, and then would utilize the interactions and the energies to reaffirm their path, their purpose. And I didn't even realize that it was like sucking my energy dry to utilize, my perspective and my awareness, all of that for their own gain and their own growth. And without any recognition to it, I kind of just got sucked in because I wasn't fully aware. And when I became aware, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. And granted, I probably handled it wrong, but I ghosted the person. I just was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Like I just ghosted the person. And I'm not saying that I was right and I'm not saying that I was wrong. In fact, who I am now, it would really depend on the situation, because to me, walking away and cutting all ties to give an explanation for it would be actually more self-sacrificial, because it keeps that energetic door open. So if you have been going through a situation in which you've cut someone out of your life, where you walked away from someone and you're wondering whether you've done it the right way or not. And I just saw 11:11 on my clock, just so you guys know. You're wondering whether you've done it the right way, whether you could have handled it better. It doesn't matter whether you did it the right way or whether you could have handled it better, because it's over. But ask yourself why those questions matter. And then realize that when you stand in your sovereign power, when you stand for your own emotional sovereignty and your own awareness here, that's when you move yourself into a place where you don't need to explain the choices that you make for your life to anyone, because it's your life, which means that you're not someone else's subject. Like I'm literally seeing like a king and a queen on a on a pedestal or on a throne and someone having to explain themselves because they're a subject. You're not a subject of anyone else. This is your life. And if your life takes you in a different direction, you don't have to explain to the people in your life beyond like, I'm talking business associates, friends, even extended family if you don't see them on a regular basis. I'm not talking about like your spouse or your significant other. There's a limit here. And I don't know why I needed to say that. I kind of just felt it hit me. But you don't have to explain the actions that you've taken to another person that is not someone that is meant to stay in your life. You have every right to maintain your own sanity and your own peace of mind. You can always get yourself out of the places and connections that breed fallacies, manipulations, and distrust. You can always do that. Pile 3, this is one of your superpowers. This is part of your secret sauce. And that's probably why people get all squirrely around you, because they know that there is not a guarantee that you will remain in their life. And if you think about it in the terms of like the Justin Bieber concert vision that I had, the correlation to that is all those little teeny bopper girls knew that Justin Bieber was passing by in this one instant. They had this one chance to get an autograph, one chance to get a photograph. So they get really squirrely, really loud, really fangirl-ish. They get that way because they know this is their one chance for this interaction, this one opportunity. Now I'm hearing Eminem in my hand. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so sorry. He just like squirreled that direction. But people know that they have one chance because you get yourself out of these places and these connections and these situations very, very easily. You, my pile 3s, are the light that regenerates the sustenance of the purest earth. You're the guide to those who are lost. You're the guide to the lost, and you're the guide to the lost because you first had to become lost to know how to find others in a state of truth and honor. And because of that, people look at you and they are like, oh my gosh, I have to know pile 3. I need to be in their life. And people's shadows can come out really easily around your energy because they fangirl, but they don't want you to know that they're fangirling. And this is not gender specific. It's just a stereotypical expression here, like genuinely stereotypical expression here. But there's something here about you defying odds, because if you guys have ever seen an earthworm after a rainstorm, the rain comes down and then all of a sudden there's earthworms. They come out of the ground and come to the surface. But sometimes during the summer, it gets really hot really fast. And if an earthworm is caught outside without there being a way of getting back to ground or a way for them to remain in water, they actually literally dry up in the heat. And so most people would expect you to not be able to shine on a consistent basis, especially with this earthworm energy. They know that you had this self-sacrificial behavior in the past. They know that this is part of your essence. So they're like, yeah, but they'll burn out. They'll get tired. They'll like, if they shine too much into the world, people are just going to suck them dry and then they'll get theirs. Except no, you won't, because you defy that. You play by a different set of rules because you are constantly regenerating yourself and your energy. You guys are my pile. I can't remember which reading, but I literally was talking to David about this the other day, about how I wanted to see a Reiki master here in town to have her see if she could help me do what I saw for a pile that they had done for themselves energetically. I wanted to see if it would work, because it was like you created your own self-sustaining energy system. I can't remember which reading that was. I don't know if it was like one of my rising sign messages or whether it was a pick a card. If one of you guys are like really diligent about watching my messages and you remember, please let me know down in the comment section below. But this is that same energy. You are self-regenerative. You like your creativity regenerates itself. your inspiration regenerates itself, your energy regenerates itself. It's because you naturally have this essence of earth and fire. So you naturally are grounded. You naturally have this fiery spark and this connection to spirit. So spirit literally feeds you and the earth nourishes you. So it's like as above and so below, and you're just the middle. You're the bridge in the middle. And these two energies are constantly feeding into you because you're the bridge that connects them. That is such a cool visual. You guys are pretty freaking awesome. And I say this a lot with my pile threes. I actually say this a lot with like pretty much all my piles. Like you guys are just really incredible. So let's get a little bit more information about this secret sauce, this like self-regenerating energy. The other piles I was picking up a lot of like gift energy, but this is on a whole nother level. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We're going to shuffle these one more time. They feel a little finicky to me. I did like shuffle and clear them, but there's just something, they just feel kind of wonky. I don't know. Okay. Let's go. All right. Affluence. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Affluence is like literally like your presence in the world. And that was that like Justin Bieber, that famous energy. It's like people just get really squirrely around you because they know you have this high level of connection. They know that you're connected to spirit. They know you're literally like connected to the Most High. You are connected to source energy on like, you know, there are some cards that talk about being connected to the divine on like a literal, like personal, intimate basis. That's you. You literally have that direct connection. We have release. See, that's that same energy that I was talking about. It's that energy of like, we know you have this connection. We know that you are this amazing, but we also know that you will, like, you'll cut someone off at the drop of a hat. So we've got truth, meditate, and new life. See, you guys do not hesitate. I actually made a video, a Let's Talk video. I think it was Embracing Humanity is what the title is. And I was literally talking about the pen is mightier than the sword. So we've got 444, which might be significant. I did see 1111, but we also have 5, 6, and 7 for you here. So that may be significant. Just, I mean, there's that progressive energy, but it's literally like people know. People know about you. People know. When I say the pen is mightier than the sword, people know that you will not hesitate to speak a truth. You will not hesitate to be as brutally honest as is needed. In a spiritual sense, you will not hesitate to say exactly what needs to be said. And with this new life, with the worm, that's that self-regenerative energy. It's like you can meditate at any given point in time. I'm not even seeing that you guys like meditate normal meditation. It's not like you guys like sit down and are like, No, I'm actually seeing you guys like genuinely just, it's almost like you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and the earth feeds you and spirit fills you. And it's this beautiful, like symbiotic energy that just regenerates you so quickly. This is so insane. On the back, we have the death card. And with the death and new life, release. Seriously, guys, one of the strongest things that you do is you just change. You cut people off, you cut people out, you cut things out and things off. You change when you need to change. You literally embody and embrace whatever you need to, as the world always reflects to you what the changes are that need to be made, or you reflect to the world what changes need to be made within them. And you have absolutely no problem speaking truths into the world. This truth energy is literally you. And so we've got like heart chakra, crown chakra, third eye chakra, and the throat chakra. You are up in these higher realms, but because of the earth, the worm energy, you are a high ethereal being, like on a soul level, deeply grounded in your humanity. This is absolutely beautiful. It is so beautiful because I am seeing how bright your guys' aura shines, how bright your wisdom shines. Yeah, look, the card 7 with the Phoenix, another 25. You guys might be 25 years old. You might have been going through changes since you were 25 years old. 25 might be your birth date. But it says, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. And this is the thing, is you always know, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter what's going on in any given moment in time. You guys know that you'll always be able to release whatever you need to release in order to step further into the truth of who you are. You just have this wisdom, this awareness of how to re-engage with life all the time. You guys are so high ranking. And now we've got 16 with Lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion. Charge ahead magnificently. I'm getting a lot of Leo energy, which doesn't surprise me because we have the Willow and the Sun. So that's a lot of Leo energy. But we literally have 777, 444 on the board. This is a lot of energy of like grounded energy plus that high spiritual seeking energy. Wow, you guys, I can't even. Some of you may be a life path 7 or a life path 4. Alternately, you might be a life path 11. And this is reflecting 2 different aspects of who you are that are now blending together into one. And it is literally you embodying and harnessing the truth of who you really are and shining it forth into the world. We have the card 9 with Eagle. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Some of you may have gone through a massive life-changing event in Scorpio season. And the reason why I say that is because we've got release. We have death on the back of the deck over here. We've got Phoenix and we've got Eagle. Now, Scorpios have 3 layers. They have the Scorpion, the Eagle, and the Phoenix. So you have the 2 higher levels of Scorpionic energy. You also have Leo energy. So you may be a fixed sign or have your angles in fixed houses or fixed signs. Have a lot of planetary placements in the fixed houses. The fixed houses are give me just a moment. It is 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8, and 11. It took me a minute. But those are the traditional fixed houses. So those houses may have a lot of planetary placements in your chart, a lot of energies within your chart or within your energy field. And again, you don't have to. That's just what I'm picking up is a lot of fixed energy. But you guys really like, oh man, you guys have like, it's almost like no one and nothing could ever potentially possibly stop you from changing your life. No one could ever stand in your way. And people know that about you. They somehow know, whether it's I'm heard it through the grapevine. So that like, whether this is like word of mouth that gets passed around, like this person will change at the drop of a hat. But it's not being said in a bad way. It's not like, oh God, stay away. Their emotions drop at a change of a hat. No, it's literally like, if you are blessed enough to be in this person's life, if you're blessed enough to be in pile 3's life, really, really enjoy the time that you get to bask in their glory, in their sun, in their shine that they allow you in, because they will not hesitate to regenerate, to transform, to turn into something else, and to begin a new life that does not always include you. And so you have this, and it isn't a bad thing. Usually if I were to tap into energy like this, it would be perceived as a negative a negative thing. Like, oh, they don't get attached to people. They don't trust people. They cut people off all the time. No, this is literally like, if you want to be in the glory that is pile three's energy, you have to bring your A game. You really do need to bring your A game, because they have boundaries. They have limits. They will not hesitate to show you their regalness, their royalty. They will not hesitate to elevate and to transform and to go about their business in a completely new direction and leave you behind. And if you try to come back, they have no problem speaking divine truths and telling you exactly what it is that you need to do because you're not on their level. That's amazing. You guys have really come a very far way. You guys have come very far from where you started this journey, is what I'm hearing. Massive, massive levels of transformation. We have fire again. Yeah, this fire, this spirit element. Fire, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. And see, you've got the lion and the eagle here, and then you've got the phoenix and fire on the outside. And it's literally like, let's set this ablaze. Let's set our life ablaze and really step into our authenticity. I was going to tell you, and I have to preface this with, I've already looked at the back of this deck before I pull it out. And I'm kicking myself for not having said what I picked up. But some of you may have some sort of planetary placement at the 29th degree of Leo, which is where Regulus, the star Regulus, sits. I was picking that up as soon as I got the lion, and I didn't say it, but we have the star card, which is 29. And it says, hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. So this is saying, like, you guys know how to follow the stars. You know how to follow your divine path. You know how to look to it's almost like you guys look to the sky and you don't even need to know astrology. You just know that the stars are guiding you. You can feel it. You can, it's like you experience it on an energetic level. And because of that, you have that star quality. And that Regulus star, that's where that royalty, that divine royalty energy comes in. So you guys have probably been really, really used and abused a lot. Like, no offense, guys, but that's what I'm getting a lot in your life. And you're learning how to transform that, elevate from that, and move forward and know, like, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. You don't have to come with me because you're not everybody's meant to come with me. And in the past, that may have been really hard for you, but I'm not getting that that's hard for you now. Absolutely not. That's part of your secret sauce. And now people are starting to pick up on that energetically, like, oh shit, I can't always go with pile 3 because pile 3 is going to leave me behind if I can't do this. So you may make people feel very insecure about themselves. And it's not intentionally done. You're literally just embodying what you are meant to embody in this world because you lead by example. You show everybody what they have the potential of being. They just don't see it that way. So we have the 3 of Roses with loving elementals. Yeah, you are really in touch with your inner child too. That, like, you guys, that it's that energy that I keep getting, that waves of like fangirl energy. It's because you just are so incredible. You just are. You're absolutely incredible. We've got on track, and in the middle we had the card 22 with add some. And then on the back we have 8 of Scrolls and Paths Unknown. I'm going to leave this here. So you literally, like, the ultimate truth, you know, you see, you understand, you carry it within your energy field. You embody it's not even embodying the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You're embodying the inner child, the essence of innocence and purity. You literally embody that and embody this angelic, like, androgyny energy, so that you just have melded everything together into one. And this add some card literally talks about saying, add some, I have arrived. You are present. You are in the present moment. And you know in any present moment what you need to do. when I look at this card, I see her like she's reading a book, but she's got this angel whispering over her shoulder. She's got all these spirits here. She's got this guy bringing her more books. And she's like looking at the spirits. But to me, this is representing like other people here in the world. Like she's looking over her shoulder at him like, yeah, no, I know my way. I know my path. I know where I'm going. I'm going to go and get on my own form of transportation because you don't know my path, but I know my path. And that makes people really nervous. And it makes people really want to know more about you. They want to know you because they want to understand, but you can't understand something like this. It just is. Messenger of fire. That's a knight of fire. Yeah, you guys literally are divine messengers. You have that, your crown is just like ablaze. You just know. Gosh, you guys are so connected to the divine. All right, we've got the 9 of air. Look, you can have 1.5 million people surrounding you, trying to push you here and there, but you stand in your sovereignty. You stand in your power. You stand in your own leadership, rulership. You know that you're the leader. And because of that, you stand in what you are meant to stand in. You literally stand there and it does not impact you at all. There is nothing about the outside world that impacts you anymore. You're literally like, yeah, okay, whatever. I am me. I am here. This is what I do. The biggest secret sauce of who you are is that you are literally so divine truth. Like your energy is so divine truth that people get squirrely around you. This is literally star quality because people don't understand what makes a star a star. We could say that actors are stars because they're really good at what they do or because they're really attractive, but that doesn't always jive with every single actor out there. Not all actors are really good at what they do. Not all actors are incredibly attractive. Not all actors are both, and not all actors are one or the other. There is someone who reaches that star quality, it's simply because their energy is in that, and that's part of their destined path. You have that same kind of energy, but it's different than how you would find it in Hollywood or in the music circuit. This is literally like, you're like a divine, how do I explain this, spirit? I'm getting visuals of like archangels on like the catwalk. This is so funny. That's literally what they're trying to help me verbalize is you're like the superstar of the spiritual realm. Your energy is like the movie star of the starseeds. It's like the music, like the #1 Billboard top musician of the angelic realm. I hope I'm making sense because I don't really know how to explain it in that way, but it's like you're the movie star to the actual stars. You're the movie star to the divine realm. And it's because you literally have zero problem transforming. You have clout. That's the word. You have spiritual clout. And not everybody has spiritual clout, but you sure shit do. And you have spiritual clout because you live your life in divine truth. It is not my truth. It's not any spiritual truths that you can find in the world. It is divine truth. It is truth that is downloaded directly into your crown chakra, anchored directly into the earth. You are walking divine truth. People don't know how you have it, but you have it. You have that affluence in the spiritual realm. And that makes you equally as dangerous as you are intriguing. And that, my darling pile threes, is your secret sauce. So I want to say thank you so much for this reading, for being here for this reading, for the energy you brought forth. This was incredible. really, really incredible. And I want to say thank you so much to your guides and mine for facilitating the connection between our energies. And I want to say thank you so much, Spirit. Spirit, the ways in which you have been bringing these messages forth to uplift the collective, to bring them to a greater awareness of themselves, their energies, their gifts, their hearts, what they're here for, what they what they contain and what they can achieve. And the way in which you allow me to sit here and work with you, and how we just come together in such a beautiful divine collaboration. I'm always so honored and humbled for what we do in the world. And so I want to say thank you so much. Thank you. All right, pile 3. If this resonated, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming readings. Down in the description box, you're going to find a multitude of links. There are links to my second channel, Chemistry with Kismet Tarot Rising Sign Messages, where I have taken all the rising sign messages that I was doing on this channel and moved it over there. And we're doing them in bite-sized pieces now. So it's going to be every week. You're going to get an energy update plus the rising sign messages for whatever rising sign you have. That way it helps you guys keep in the flow of energetic living a lot easier than having to consistently come back to the same reading and piece it apart. I just figured it was easier for you guys and easier for me for filming too. So definitely go check those out. There are also links to donate to my channel, to book a personal reading, and to my author page on Amazon. So go check out my books for sure. Let me know in the comment section below how this resonated. Let other pile 3s know that you guys are just plain flat out spiritual badasses. Like, yeah, I'm divine truth. Hell yes. All right, pile 3. I love you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. You are always awesome. Your piles, I can never expect how the messages are going to come out, but I'm always here for it. So thank you so much. So much, pile 3. Your secret sauce is incredible. I will see you at my next reading. I love you all. Bye. Pattern. Hello, my pile 4s. So if you chose the ladybug and the Manaz rune, this is your message. So pile 4s, the first thing about your secret sauce, it has everything to do with the elemental representation of the pile that you chose. The ladybug is correlated with not air, but fire. And if you're surprised, so was I. For those of you who are wondering, this is the Wild Elemental Oracle. And with this Oracle deck, each of the, or there's like subsections of it for the animals, and they are correlated with the elements. That's why it's the Wild Elemental Oracle. The ladybug is correlated with the fire element. Now, when I was tapping into the runes, I was receiving messages and downloads about what element the runes were correlated to as well. With the Manaz rune, it stands for man, but this rune actually is correlated with the spirit element or the 5th element. So you are working with the highest level of spiritual elements right now, because the fire element is literally like the flame and spark of existence in this world. So it is the physical, worldly representation of spirit in the world. And with the Manaz rune, it actually is more correlatable to the spirit that descends into the world to become the flame. And I channeled a couple of messages. So I'm just going to read those messages first before we get into the cards, get into the like direct channeling stuff and move forward. So pile 4, your secret sauce, what makes you quite unique in who you are and in how you work in the world is your energy. Your energy is the essence of all we are, all we have been, all we shall become, and it starts, ends, and remains forever within the truths that we are all divine humanity. As more awakened to this truth through interaction with you, lies are shed, hope is restored, passions embraced, and we finally truly see each of us as one in the whole, individuated uniqueness, to build this true interconnected beating heart of true joy, supreme ecstasy, and the simple ordinariness of being at all times, places, and spaces. I have to tell you, as I tap into this energy, the more I tap into it, the higher the consciousness goes. It is like being not of this world ever, yet being able to exist harmoniously alongside this world. I would say that you guys are beings who are in this world in a physical vessel, but there is not a piece of your consciousness that exists within this world. It is almost as though your consciousness exists parallel to the world, parallel to even your physical body, but it doesn't hinder you from being a part of this world and from taking care of your physical body. You are incredibly unique. I have very rarely touched into energies like this, except when I touch into my own higher self and into high level starseed energies. So pile 4s, you are the truth of the future existing in the here and now. You energize the blessings which appear to the unopened mind as quote unquote pure luck. But truly it's about the revelation of divine worthiness and becoming the living embodiment of the collective truth too long forgotten, but now awakening as though activated ancient DNA slumbered for millennia no longer is dormant. You are the awakened ancient beings whose entire essence is encapsulated divine truths, and you create energetically the perfect storm of inner stirrings via interactions with others for their soul's higher selves and spirit to finally penetrate their consciousness, creating internal ineffable tower moments and seeding remembrance of inner flames. Now, when I say high levels of consciousness and awareness, I'm going to actually explain what that message was. Though I feel as though many of you understand what I mean, I'm going to explain it a little bit more, break it down. But I was picking up quite a few star systems. I picked up Andromedan, Sirian, Lyran, and I heard Pavorian from the fixed star Pavo, which is in the constellation Peacock. And these are little known star seeds who do stay in the background a lot, which is ironic because they're from Peacock. And most of the time you would think that peacocks, when you think about peacocks, you think about the flamboyant nature of their feathers and how they really stand out and they, strut around. Even white ones are seen as quite high end, but highly valued, very, very right in your face. But the star seeds from the Peacock constellation and from Pavo especially, it's your energy that is the Peacock energy, but you do not operate that way in the physical awareness, like the physical body and the way that you interact with the world. In fact, you're actually quite the opposite. So if you resonate with this, and guys, I have to tell you, this is not one that I have found anywhere. Like I haven't even bothered Googling it. I just am downloading it and telling you guys what I'm picking up here. So with these people, you have an energy field that pulls people in. It's kind of like, in Star Wars where, I want to say it's the first Star Wars where they start interacting. I don't know. I think it's with the Death Star or something like that. And they get sucked into the gravity field in order to be able to dock. And so they can't actually run their ship anymore. So it's kind of like that. You kind of pull people into your energy field. And it's not, and when I say ineffable, I mean, it can't be explained. You can't explain it. They can't explain it. It's because a part of your soul's journey was spent in a very, very uncharted star system. This Peacock energy feels so uncharted. It almost feels like this is so weird. I don't know the astronomy of it, to tell you the truth, but it feels like what they would call the outer reaches. It's like, we have the galaxy we're in it's a spiral arm galaxy. So it's like arms that come around and create the spiral. It's like the really furthest part of the arm that I'm seeing. And this may or may not be Peacock, but it's just what I'm seeing. It's because when you go out here, you learn to embody without, am I saying it backwards? Hang on. Can you show me? When you're out there, you're embodying this energy so that you can understand how to contain the energy without the energy becoming your container. So if you think about peacocks, we're going to go back to kind of a physical representation. If you think about peacocks with their feathers, it's like your energy field has the peacock feathers. And so people are very drawn to you, but they don't understand you. And you likely don't connect to them. You guys are probably INFJs. I think it's Heyoka empaths. You're someone, gosh, I'm actually seeing Helen Keller in my head. You know, like she was deaf and blind simultaneously. So her sixth sense was just like off the charts. So I'm kind of getting that energy of very withdrawn. I'm now getting Emily Dickinson. So you may like seriously separate yourself from the world. Very shy. I just heard crippling shyness. This may not be who you are now. For some of you, you're not this person right now, but you're still fighting the last vestiges of feeling this way because it's time for you to awaken and really come forth out into the world far more than you already have been. It's like it's time for you to stop hiding behind X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. And it's not a judgment. It's literally like that was part of your path. Now this is part of now your path is taking you this way. Now I'm hearing Robert Frost. Are you guys poets? Because I'm getting a lot of poet energy. But you guys really embody this essence of beauty, of shine, of strut, and like you guys are like high end energy and starseed energy. You may resonate with literally every star system, or you may read them and be like, yeah, I could maybe try and relate to that, but it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel complete. And this is an energy I have picked up on my channel before, where you guys are likely the star seeds that are from star galaxies and star systems that we have not yet learned about on Earth. And you're likely part of the wave that came in 80s, 90s, and some, not that I don't expect you to be here, but some of them in the early 2000s, waves of star seeds that came in from unknown star systems to Earth at the time, that are now, I'm literally seeing a whole bunch of lights on, like, I had this, like, my third eye, it's like I'm standing on the moon and I'm staring at the Earth and all the lights are off. So like the Earth looks dark, and then I'm seeing like these bright, like flashing lights coming online throughout the world, for these different star seeds. Wow. Whew, your energy is, there are literally 0 words in the English language that can describe exactly what your energy is. You are the energy of ineffable. So that image that I got was literally like, when you interact with people, you create internal tower moments. They don't understand these internal tower moments. They don't even understand that it's happening until all of a sudden, nothing in their life is right. And you don't know that you're doing it either. It's kind of like, you may have had a lot of friends drop out of your life. You may have had a lot of friends who have like literally attacked you, like verbally. You may have had physical altercations. You may have had a lot of moments that have, and now I'm getting that same like Emily Dickinson energy, like just leave me alone with my books and my notebooks. You may have had a lot of moments that have created this pain and this wound pattern of not wanting to be in the world, like and I'm not talking like in a dangerous way. I mean, like not wanting to engage in the world or engage in friendships. And so you may be you may have made it almost impossible to get a hold of you. That's what I'm getting. Like, you don't have an email address. There are like 4 people who have your phone number. People don't know that you go on YouTube. You might not even be watching this video from an actual YouTube account for some of you, which, okay, like, thanks for watching at least. I really hope that I'm describing this correctly for you so that you understand that someone is capable of seeing you for who you are, because what I'm getting is all of these moments of strife and strain, and this may have happened even within your family dynamics, where you're the scapegoat. You are the problem child. It is not your fault. It is what you came here to do, and that does not make it any easier. That's not meant to make it easier. That is simply meant to confirm what you already knew. And that doesn't mean that you aren't entitled to feel angry about it. Even though you have a consciousness that can walk beside you in this journey so that it feels like you're not alone, because it's like you've split your consciousness, but not in a bad way. It's like you've split your consciousness so that you understand your higher self is literally walking beside you energetically all the time. And it's brought you a lot of comfort. Your journey is not meant to be solo anymore. It's not meant to be that small. You're meant to come into a state of understanding and a state of power, because this energy that you have is literally what transforms nations. It transforms the world. And it's not something that you have to actively work at doing and causing. It is who you are. And the best part about it, and I want to tell you the best part about this, and it is going to be something that you likely are like, but Monica, that's the worst part about it. No, honey, it is the best part. The best part about this is that you do each and every one of these moments of transformation in other people with nothing more or less than utter, unconditional, innocent, childlike love and wonder for people. You love people so intrinsically and inherently, and it has caused you nothing but pain in your life. And that is not your fault. It's your energy. And that doesn't help, but it does. It is meant to aid you in knowing that you're not alone, and aid you in knowing that I do see you. Spirit and your guides brought you here so that you would know that you can be seen. And I know how specific this sounds, but I want you to understand that I feel like I am talking to a huge like amphitheater or pantheon full of people right now. I feel like I am a motivational speaker at some sort of stadium event, speaking to a huge group of people, because you have not found each other yet. But there is a time coming where you will begin to find each other, because those lights that I saw, what I'm seeing now is in your dream state, each one of you are activating parts within yourself. That was that DNA activation that I was seeing. It's like activating junk DNA. So I'm actually being shown the House of Night book series so that I can help explain it. With the House of Night book series, the concept of that is that there are vampires in the world, and it's a known thing, and it's a scientific transition or change that people go through, where junk DNA gets activated in their system in order to initiate the transformation. This is very similar to what's going on with you guys. There was a set time in your life. Oh, I know who one of you is. Oh, this is that ticking time bomb that I saw. Hi. Okay. There was a set time in your life, and it came in like it may have felt like you were running out of time, or like you were watching an hourglass tick down, or feeling like a ticking time bomb, feeling like you were ticking down to something, or you were you were building up to something for some of you. And and you can't tell what it is because nothing in your outside world quite matches it. But it's an internal change that has to occur first. When that internal change occurs, then the external world starts responding in kind. And that's when you all sort of come online and are like, oh, now's my time. It's almost like you suddenly go from being horrendously introverted to being like, fuck it energy and going out into the world and just like shining forth. It's like being a hidden peacock that just suddenly like, boom, now everyone can see your feathers. For a lot of you, I get this energy that it's going to be happening, that a big part of it is going to be that first eclipse of 2023. I want to say it's either March or April, but it's a hybrid solar eclipse in Aries at the 29th degree. And that is the energy that I've been picking up from that eclipse ever since I have been studying it. Because that eclipse, I can't articulate how powerful that eclipse is going to be for the collective in such a like magically positive way. Oh my God, look, on the back we have shift. Literally we have shift. Whoo, buddy. Courage. Yeah. I'm going to leave the shift card out here, but I'm going to leave that as the back of the deck energy just because I feel like that needs to be, but I feel like there's, no, I just want one more, please. Can I get just one more for pile 4? What do they need courage for? There. Oh, okay. 2 more. Yep. You need courage to step into your power. Look, we've got 37, which reduces to a 10, and 46, which reduces to a 10 as well. And then grounded. So we've got 1, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, you are grounding some massive. Oh my God, you guys. This is literally the moon phase that it will be in. It's going to be a new moon in Aries that is a solar eclipse. And this is the number 9, and that's the number 9. You cannot make this shit up. Holy shit. You guys, I can't even right now. I have never had a reading like this before, but I am telling you right now, whatever is going on, like, get ready. I would not normally say this stuff, but get ready. Because I can't, like, you guys are looking, oh my God. I cannot even right now, like, I want to cry. You guys there's so much that is going to change. There is so much that is going to change. And look, this shift literally looks like an hourglass. I channeled this and I don't remember when I channeled it. It might have been in rising sign messages, but I don't think so. I want to say it was one of my pick a cards. It was about an hourglass and you were sitting there staring at it, watching it tick down. And then you just were like, I'm taking my power back. I'm not doing this anymore. And someone took the hourglass and put it on its side and was like, everything screeched to a halt when that happened. I don't remember. God, I got to write this stuff down when I do this. Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever been told you're the anchor? Have you ever heard of, no, just like grounding, you're anchoring something into existence. You're anchoring something into reality. I feel like that anchoring down, you're anchoring down. And I just saw 2222 on my clock. What? Oh my gosh. Who are you guys? Who are you? This is a lot. This is powerful. And this candle has not been jumping this much for any of these readings. You guys have the highest level of spiritual energy I have touched ever. 24 with patience. Holy shit. Look at that. Oh my God. It's a fucking hourglass. I can't even. Slow down. Change your attitude. Clear your mind. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have tingles throughout my entire freaking body. Oh my God. Look, 32, transformation. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. You guys are literally shifting so much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What did you guys change? What? It's that energy. It's this. It's literally that. I literally saw it right before it came out. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, that. Okay. Look up the eclipse patterns for next year. And I'm telling you, it is the Aries. It's the Aries new moon eclipse at 29 degrees and 52 minutes. I can remember all of that, but I can't remember the exact date that it's happening. And I know that it is the second new moon to happen in Aries season next spring. It is a black new moon. Like, there's so much power to this energy. And it's literally like your life is changing. Yeah. Key right there. 15 key. New beginnings, directions, and adventures. Wait for those. Ready to let go of the past. That's exactly it. This is what is happening. I did not expect this to be a what is changing in your life. This is literally about who you are, but this is about who you are. You guys are going to be the shift makers, the shift changers, the transformative, like everything. You guys have a key within you that is going to unlock generations and generations worth of wealth and knowledge that has not been in the world for millennia. You are going to unlock something that this world has never seen. No, that this world has not seen since recorded history. It is sunken. It is hidden. It is blinded. It's like the Voynich manuscript. You guys are like the walking Voynich manuscript. You could probably look at that and be like, I know exactly what that says, but not be able to articulate it, but your soul will recognize it. And if you've never heard of it, go search for it. It's Voynich. And it's something that my soul recognized when I saw it. And I could not tell you, but I just felt like it had some sort of starseed power to it. Super, super starseed power to it. But yeah, there's something, it's like you're this walking manuscript that people can't understand. They cannot put their finger on it. They can't articulate it, but you contain it. It's nothing that is outside of you. It's inside of you. You contain it. And look, with this circle and the chains, there are these birds that are flying this way. This is literally like that energy. Like, everybody has always been like flying at you all the time, but you've been chained to it. You're breaking the chains of that pattern. That's being transformed. So you are now going to come out into the world, and the only people that are going to be attracted to you for a while are those that are meant to come into your life, that are meant to elevate you, and not elevate you in the way that we think about elevation energies within interpersonal connections. This is not like to break you down. Each person that's going to come into your life for a duration of 3 to 6 months is going to help transform something within you. They may or may not stay in your life for any duration of time, but it will be a peaceful coming together and a peaceful separation when it happens. Something within the energies is going to recognize each other, and you'll amplify those lights that I was seeing and become you guys are key holders. You are going to be unlocking these keys, unlocking these doors, unlocking these awarenesses. And then the more that you come together and then go your own separate ways, the more you anchor and ground this power down. This is something that your guides are saying you have been building. This slow down and change your attitude energy. You have literally been building to make this shift, to step into this courageous power. Some of you may have been in therapy. I'm actually seeing someone like sitting on a therapist's couch or in a chair. This is something that you needed to do because your soul recognized that you needed to work through all those past pains because you're ready to let it go, to break the chains from the past, because you can feel this shift coming in and you could feel it. Whoa, I just got tingles all down my legs again. You can feel this shift coming in. I just heard, I cannot believe someone finally understands. I can't believe someone's finally verbalizing. It's like I've been too scared. Like you guys are like, this is what I'm getting from my hand. Like my hand is steady, but when I touch your cards, my hand wants to shake. It's like, it's almost the word I wanted to say was disconcerting for you to have somebody be able to read your energy, because I get the sense that you're not used to people being able to read this, but it's okay. It's okay. It's an indicator. I'm hearing it's an indicator that more of it is coming online. Things are going to go in your favor for all the moments in which you felt like you've been in nothing but a bad luck energy. That's shifting. It's kind of like you had to be in a bubble of the hard in order to be birthed. Kind of like a cocoon, but worse. Yeah, lovers, look, 18. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. I love this card that says lovers, and it talks about making a choice between two paths, because the lovers card in tarot was originally the card of decisions. So this is literally what I'm seeing here. And it's again, another 9. We've got 999, 1166. And 22. Oh, man. Yeah, I want one more card. This two paths ahead. That was the Robert Frost that I was seeing. You guys will know exactly where to go and what to do. And I just saw 30 on my clock, like 30 minutes. And the ladybug is 30. That I need you to understand that I'm only being drawn to things because it's important. You guys may be Mercury dominated, which means that you may be Virgos or you may be Geminis. Alternately, Mercury might be conjunct a fixed star. It really doesn't matter which fixed star because it all gets siphoned down through your Mercury. We've got Judgment 14. Soul searching will bring you inner peace to many areas of your life. Yeah, exactly. And then 16, Lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. This is about you really stepping fully into your power, stepping fully into who you are, stepping fully into the awareness that you have control over this now. It does not control you. You control it. You determine where it's going to go. This is crazy. Watch. Look. Patience, transformation, the lovers, judgment, and key. So through patience, slowing down, changing your attitude, you're going to go through this transformation. There will be two paths after this transformation that appear to you, and you will know what to take because you have grounded that power. You have moved into your courageous nature, your truest nature through this shift of the new moon. And you will know because you've searched your soul, you're going to find inner peace, take the right path, and unlock every direction that you were meant to take, new beginnings and adventures, leaving the past behind. And the reason why I did this is 65956. Those three numbers may be significant for you guys. I want one more card, just one more. I feel like that's all you guys came here for. I know Willow. She wants outside. We have 12 and the scribe. You guys are here to bring in 2 of keys, the treasure. This is literally about that light. All he has to do is turn around and see that the light is contained already within the room. You already contain the light within you. You are the scribe to the stars, the scribe. Like you carry this Hierophant energy, this awareness, this spiritual wisdom. You are going to tap into things that are ready to be brought into the world because it was always your birthright to bring them into the world. You were always meant to take this path. It was always meant to be this hard and it was always meant to be this confusing because you had to be able to make these shifts into stepping into your power on your own first before the energies aligned with it. You had to realize the power that you had within you. And that is your secret sauce. Your secret sauce is literally just who you are, because who you are is so divine. You are divine and human. You walk this life in two realms all the time. And that is a hard thing to do. You have not endured in vain. Trust this path and trust yourself and step fully into this shift, this change, knowing that this is your time. Wow. Okay. Pile 4. I'm going to leave it here. I would normally pull more cards, but I literally just got like a no, this is all they needed today. I really want you to know how honored I am to read your energy, to have a reading like this, because I did not expect it. I am so blown away. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much to your guides, because I know that they facilitated and orchestrated so much of this reading and the energies and the way that everything went. And I want to say thank you so much for contacting my guides and for working together with them. And Spirit, thank you. I know I've seen this before. I know that you are putting pieces together for me as well as for pile 4. And I am so, so honored for it. I am so honored for my place here. I am so honored for my gifts. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about Willow. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. In the description box below, you will find links to my second channel, Chemistry with Kismet Tarot Rising Sign Messages, where I do energy updates per moon cycle and then a reading for each rising sign for your astrological placements. You'll also find links to donate to my channel, to book a personal reading, as well as to my author page on Amazon. So don't hesitate to check those links out. Please let me know in the comment section below if you have a YouTube channel or account. Please let me know how you guys are doing, how this resonated, how you're feeling. This is an energy and a reading that I am going to have to sit with for how powerful it was just to be able to read the cards myself. And I'm really, truly, guys, I'm so honored, pile 4. I am so honored. So thank you again. And I will see you all at my next reading, I hope. I love you all. Bye.